Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sasha, and on this channel I will be talking about my ketogenic diet. So I just kind of wanted to do this video as an introduction to give you some information about me and where I'm coming from. So right now I'm what I would call pre-keto, I guess, because I haven't started yet. Um, I'm kind of right now in the process of gathering the things together that I need in order to start the diet successfully. So I am on a pretty limited income, and so my budget for keto is going to be rather small. Um, so I'm gonna have to really be budgeting my money with this diet. So before I started it out, I wanted to give myself about a month to gather all the things that I would need, like the electrolyte supplements and the vitamins and the just different like flours or sweeteners that I'm going to need to be imparting into my day-to-day meals. So I'm gonna just talk a little bit about where I'm coming from with my relationship to food, talk about my weight, a little bit like stuff like that. As far as stats, I'll just get into more of that when I get actually started on the diet, like when I do my day one video. But where I'm coming from is pretty simple. So I have a condition called Demoiselle syndrome, and it's a pretty rare syndrome in which the pituitary gland, the vision, the height, like your height, like everything having to do with your pituitary gland is affected. Everything having to do with your vision is affected. So I have a bit of nystagmus with my eyes. And there's a couple of other things that this syndrome affects. So not fun. A whole lot of little bundles of joy in this is big shit package. So I'm just kind of dealing with that. And see, the problem with where I ended up being overweight is that as a kid I understood the wording of that my metabolism was slower, but I didn't and I understood how the language correlated, but I didn't really understand the impact. I didn't really understand that most likely as my family is eating and processing their breakfast, I'm probably still working on my dinner from the night before. I didn't understand, the huge impact that it really does make on the pituitary gland. So I didn't know to eat for that. So I find myself in a place where I'm like kind of heavier, and it's really a glandular thing because my metabolism just doesn't process properly, and I don't eat like somebody who has a slow metabolism. I don't really binge eat or overeat or anything like that. I mean, I do occasionally overeat, but I don't like horribly binge, and I don't really like really sweet stuff or a lot of sugar. It's just all in the processing of my food. Back in 2003 or 4, yeah, 2000, probably 2003, I was on Atkins, and me and two other friends were sharing my friend's house at the time, and we were all on Atkins together. We all started it together, and I never really did the diet thing before because they never worked for me because of my metabolism. Atkins worked amazing for me. I started dropping weight quickly. I flew into ketosis, it feels like, within days. And I felt really good. I had all this energy. I felt slimmer. I felt better. It got to the point where I could go to my grandparents' house, and where I used to go after their soda or, make sandwiches or just whatever, like junk food was there, I would eat it if I liked it. I got to the point where I could walk in and they could have a box of pizza on the table, which is my weakness, and I wouldn't care. I wouldn't even touch it. I would just grab some water or, something healthy, carrots or celery, and that would just be it. I loved what it did for me, but back then the problem was that there were not a lot of products out there that were low carb. It was just starting to come into the markets. You had your little tiny section of low carb, and that's all you really had. And there was maybe a few books you could find, but they were not as detailed or not as good as they are now. Well, when that situation blew up, um, I ended up being back at my family home and um, didn't didn't continue the diet because A, I didn't have the money alone to do it, and B, I just didn't really know enough on my own to continue it. So fast forward all these years later, and I moved here when in 2013, and I always told myself if I moved to my own place or when I moved to my own place, I was going to eat the way that I felt was necessary for my health. So probably early 2013. It took me a couple months, but I phased out all the junk food and I did it really slowly so as to give myself time to really understand that this is it. So, um, I did it. It took maybe 3 or 4 months just to phase it all out and to welcome in the healthier things. And I found that I could easily become addicted to kale, which is absolutely insane because I used to hate vegetables. Well, not hate, I just would not buy them for myself. Um, so it got to a point where I was walking 9 to 13 miles a day. I was dropping weight like crazy. I was eating healthy. Everything was going great. And then my job, I changed locations with my job. So now, rather than having a 2 mile walk, which was adding to my success, I had a 4 hour train commute. To prevent me from having to do this daily, I started staying at my parents' house to just go to work easier. So I would be there three nights a week. And so at first it was like they would go out for fast food, and I'd be like, no, thank you. I'll eat whatever's here, make a salad. Um, then I just kind of slipped into their ways of eating eventually, and all hell broke loose. And I think I've gained pretty much everything back. Um, so I maybe not everything, but pretty close to it. Um, so now I want to do something that's a little more um, geared toward how I like to eat, and I always thought that low carb would be really, really hard for me to do because it's so expensive. But now what I'm going to be doing is just doing it like I'm doing it in phases, getting, or stages, I should say, getting all of my flours, my sweeteners, or whatever ingredients I will need to cook with when I need to cook, bake with when I want to bake, so that way when I go on keto, there's no reason not to, mess it up because I'll have everything I need. I'm not really one who cheats on diets or breaks diets. Once I start it, if I'm enjoying it, then I don't stop. And if I do stop, then that means that I'm just done with the diet. I don't cheat on my diet, shame myself back into it, and blah blah blah. I don't do that to myself. I don't deserve that. No one deserves to do that to themselves. So if I've cheated on my diet, that pretty much is signaling that I'm done with it. And like I said, the only diet I really put much stock into is this Atkins slash ketogenic slash paleo type way of eating. So I think my relationship with food is a lot healthier than it has ever been. So now I just need to start eating properly for me. So what I'm also going to be doing in this pre-keto month is speaking with my endocrinologist, or an endocrinologist. I don't have one at the moment. But because of this Demoiselle syndrome, it is vital to me to know what my cortisol levels are and to know, what my thyroid levels are, make sure everything is okay, and get on whatever medicines I need to get on just to supplement my body for whatever I need medically, so that I'm doing this properly. So at some point this month, I hope to be able to get into my endocrinologist and see where I am. I want to get a official weight reading and just find out what my BMI is and all that kind of stuff, so that when I start, I know exactly where I'm starting at. So that's going to be part of this. acquiring things is going to be part of this for the diet. I got myself a vegetable spiralizer, which I have my tripod propped up on top of that package box. So I'm excited to try that. And I'm ready. Like, I know that it's going to be a bit difficult on a budget. I can't buy like, lavish meals or anything like I see created on different channels that I watch here on YouTube, but at least I know that I can get the basics in, and I want to make sure that I'm able to eat what I need to eat to keep myself losing weight in a healthy way. I've read about things where when you have a thyroid issue, at some point your hair can fall out, or other symptoms may occur due to the imbalance in the thyroid or imbalance of hormones. So I want to make sure that I do this properly. So if you guys are out there and you have to do keto on a budget, I really hope that my channel can help you get some ideas as to what you can eat, or even inspire you if you don't think you can afford keto to do it. Because literally, like, honestly, I have $150 a month to budget for food. And sometimes on a regular crap diet, it's hard to stretch a dollar. So this time, it's going to have to be well prepared and well thought out. I'm going to have to make menu plans so that way I have direct targets where I need to go into the grocery store, go pick up what I need to get and be done, and make sure that what I get can sustain me through the month. I think vegetables will be the easiest part of this because I can just walk to the open market and pick up my kale or my carrots or whatever. So that I'm looking forward to doing again because I haven't done that in a while. I used to do that all the time. So yeah. So hopefully you guys enjoy this journey with me, and hopefully you guys can be inspired to do this no matter what your budget. And I get inspiration from a lot of channels here on YouTube, so I hope to be able to cultivate a nice little community, around what I'm doing. I have another friend who's going to be joining YouTube soon because she already is on a low carb diet, and she inspires me too. So I can't wait to watch her low carb videos. So yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in and watching this video and taking some time to sit with me and learn about my story and begin my journey with me. So until next time, I'll see you later. Bye bye.